what you're learning has been hidden from us for thousands of years. Now through the Spirit of the Lord, which he had to die on the cross for us to get this knowledge. If you knew the significance of why he went on that cross, man, you'd never look at that the same again. He had to die for us to get this knowledge. That's right. From his Father.
And that's how the Lord is gathering his elect, by the word being out and preached out here. And then the ones like yourself, you know, you heard the word. So if you're part of the elect, the Lord, now with the word that you receive, now you'll be sealed.
Wisdom,
you know, so we're calling out with the word of the Lord, and the Lord is the one doing the sealing. Those people obviously weren't part of the elect because they were scoffing. So it's like the word went like this, you know, just kept bouncing off their ears. That's why they came up the way they did, and then they left. You know, but you're still here listening. You know?
Itself says study to show that self-approved. You got to study the Bible, but you got to study other books. When I say other books, I mean like the documents, the records, history.
It becomes a way of life.
It becomes a way of life.
Hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will.
Shalawam, shalawam. First, I give all glory, honor, and praises to YAHAWAH, Bahasham, YAHAWASHI, Bahasham, QADASH. Double honor to the apostle and the elder, great millstone, who we will and teach well. And I said Shalawam to the hopeful elect, and I came out there push this word and this truth into sincerity. Alright, back into another lesson today, and the title of the lesson is The Promises. Alright, and we're going to be going into mainly who the promises are for. Alright, who they and who are the heirs to the promise. Alright, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and dive into the lesson. Let's go to Galatians chapter 3. And we're going to scroll down verse 28 and 29. Alright. Galatians chapter 3 and verse 28 and 29. There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither bond nor free. There is neither male nor female. For ye are all one in Hamashiach YAHAWASHI. And if you watch the lesson that was done on Hellenism in that Hellenistic period, then you would know what Apostle Paul meant here in this verse. Alright, but for the sake of this lesson, point is in 29. If ye be Hamashiachs, then are ye Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise. Alright, so again, the point here is you have to be of Abraham's seed, alright, to be heirs according to the promise. Alright, and you have to be of Abraham's seed again. Alright, let's get one more before we go into the before we go into the actual history. Alright, let's go to Luke chapter 1. We're going to start at verse 68. Here we go. Alright, this is Luke chapter 1 and verse 68. Blessed be YAHAWASHI, power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and have raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers, and to remember his holy covenant, the oath which he swore to our father Abraham. Alright, so that promise, that mercy promise was to our fathers, and that the holy covenant, alright, and again to our father Abraham, meaning that you have to be heirs or the descendants of Abraham to receive the promise. Alright, let's go into, let's go ahead and start getting the history. We're going to start with Abraham, of course. Verse 17. Let's start at Genesis chapter 17 and verse 1. Alright, and when Abram was 90 years old and 9, Yahweh appeared to Abram and said to him, I am the almighty power. Walk before me and be thy perfect. I will make my covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and the Most High talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be called Abraham, for a father of many nations I have made thee. And I will make thee exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. and I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in the generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a power unto thee and to thy seed after thee. Alright, so here again, that covenant was established with Abraham and his seeds in the generations after him. Alright, and as you know, the seed, the lineage here that we're talking about is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And then from Jacob, his name was changed to Israel, and from Israel, it was divided amongst the 12 tribes. All right. So again, let's go to the next one. All right. Who's after Abraham? It was Isaac. All right. That's why we say Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. Again, let's go to Genesis 26. We're going to start at verse 1. It says, and there was a famine in the land besides the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Amalek, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And Yahweh appeared unto him and said, go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and I will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swore unto Abraham thy father, and I will make thy seed multiply as the stars of the heaven, and I will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. All right, so let's backtrack for a second. He told Abraham, hey, you follow me, you know, you have faith and obedience, all right, follow my laws and everything like that, you know, and you'll get the promise. It'll be to you, unto you, your seeds, all right, until your basically your lineage. After Abraham, all right, it was Isaac, all right, and he told Isaac the same thing. All right, so who do we have next? This is what we're doing. We're tracking that promise from the initial point that it was given to us all the way up until us today. All right. So who's after Isaac? It's Jacob. All right, let's go to Jacob. Genesis chapter 35, and we're gonna start at verse 9. Genesis chapter 5 and verse 9. Genesis chapter 35 and verse 9. And the Most High appeared unto Jacob again when he came out of Pandaram, and blessed him. And the Most High said unto him, thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel. All right. Okay. Verse 11. And the Most High said unto him, I am power almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins. And verse 12. And the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac to thee, I will give it, and to thy seed after thee I will give the land. So that promise is being passed down from Abraham to Isaac. Now it's being passed down to Jacob, and he's telling Jacob, hey, it's to you and your lineage. All right. And again, we know that Jacob, his name was changed to Israel. All right. So with that, again, the point of iterating here is that the promises are to the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. Let's get one more in this history real quick. All right, Genesis. We're gonna go to 18. Genesis chapter 18. We're going verse 17 right here. All right. Slock it. No, we're gonna get that in the NLT. Has it right there, Slocky. Give me 1 second. Slocky. The water. Con. Here it is. Genesis chapter 18. We're gonna start at verse 17. All right. Should I hide my plan from Abraham? Yahweh asked. For Abraham will certainly become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth will be blessed through him. Verse 19. I have singled him out, so he will direct his sons and his families to keep the way of Yahweh by doing what is right and just, then will I do for Abraham all that I promised. All right. So again, that the promises was unto Abraham, all right, and his lineage, his sons, his families. All right, that's the lineage of Abraham. All right, Abraham, and then Isaac, and then Jacob, and from Jacob it was the 12 tribes. All right, let's go to Romans. We're gonna go to 9. We're gonna start at verse 1 because, like I said, the promises are unto the Israelites. All right, it's unto Israel. All right, Romans chapter 9 and verse 1. I say the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the QADASH, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach, for my brethren and my kindred according to the flesh. And here's the point. Who are Israelites? To whom pertaineth the adoption, the glory, the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promises. Alright? Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who was all over the Most High blessed forever. Come on. Alright? So the point is at the end of verse 4. The Israelites are who pertaineth the promise. That's who the promise goes to. It goes to the Israelites. Alright? The 12 tribes. Alright? Let's go back to the NLT here. And we're going to go to Romans chapter 4. This is Romans chapter 4 and verse 13. Alright. Clearly, the Most High's promise to give the whole earth to Abraham and his descendants was not based on his obedience to the Most High's law, but a right relationship with the Most High that comes by faith. Alright. Let me clear up some confusion there. Alright. Because a lot of times, because this here, in this case, it's a little bit of confusion. Alright. The covenant is the contract that we have with YAHAWASHI. All right. The promises are the incentives within the contract tied to faith and obedience. All right. If you read Genesis chapter 22, when Abraham displayed, when he was tested and he was proved through faith and obedience. That's how the promises was. Let me see how I say it's the right way, the correct way. That's when those promises were started with Abraham. I would say, if I'm saying that correctly. But the point, what I'm trying to make here is, the promises are the incentives within the contract that are tied with faith and obedience. You have to obey the laws of Yahweh Shema Shah. All right, we're gonna grab one more. Let's go to GNT, and we're gonna get Sirach, of the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 44. All right. We're going to read it here in the KJV as well. And just so you know, real quick, if you have the actual red book, the Apocrypha, the 22nd chapter is divided into two. All right, the 23rd verse, the 22nd and the 23rd, the 22nd verse is divided into two. All right, it'll be a 23rd verse that starts here at the word "and." That's if you have the red book. All right, if you have the actual hard copy book. All right, just wanted to throw that out there. All right, this is the book of Sirach. We're gonna go chapter 44. We're gonna start at verse 19. Abraham was a great father of many people. In glory was there none like him, who kept the law of the Most High and was in covenant with him. He established the covenant in his flesh, and he was proved and he was found faithful. Again, if you read Genesis chapter 22, you can read up on that. All right, okay. Verse 21. Therefore he assured him by an oath that he would bless the nations of his seed, and that he would multiply him as the dust of the earth, and exalt his seed as the stars, and cause them to inherit from sea to sea, and from river unto the uttermost part of the land. All right. With Isaac, he established likewise for Abraham his father's sake, and the blessings of all men, and the covenant. All right. So again, he passed it from Abraham. He passed it to Isaac. All right. Let's keep reading. All right. And made it rest upon the head of Jacob. So from Abraham to Isaac, from Isaac to Jacob. All right. He acknowledged him in his blessings, and gave him inheritance, and divided his portions amongst the 12 tribes. All right. And he parted them. All right. So from Jacob, his name was turned into Israel, and Jacob, it's like Israel, also to Jacob, he had 12 sons. All right. Those 12 sons started the 12 tribes of Israel, and that's the promise was passed down to the 12 tribes. All right. Let's read it here in the Good News Translation. Again, here it actually shows it here. And like I said, in some places you'll see where it'll say 22, it'll say 22, 23. But if you have the red book, that 22nd verse is divided into two. All right. This is the book of Sirach, the book of Ecclesiasticus, again, chapter 44, starting in verse 19. Abraham was the great ancestor of many nations, and his reputation was flawless. He kept the law of the Most High and made a covenant with him. A covenant marked on his body. When he was put to the test, he was found faithful. Again, that's in Genesis chapter 22. All right, verse 21. And so YAHAWASHI made him a solemn promise that his descendants would be the blessing to the world, that their number would be countless like the dust of the earth, and that they would be honored more than any other people on earth. And their land would be extended from sea to sea, from Euphrates to the ends of the earth. All right, and here's the point. YAHAWASHI renewed the covenant with Isaac, and then again with Jacob, repeating the promise that Abraham's descendants would be the blessings to the whole human race. YAHAWASHI assured Jacob that he would bless him. He gave him the land that would be his, dividing it into 12 parts, one for each of the tribes. All right. And if you don't know what the tribes are, if you don't know what the 12 tribes of Israel are, here you go. This is the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. You have Judah, which is the so-called Negroes. You have Benjamin, which is the so-called West Indians. You have the Levites, which are the so-called Haitians. You have Simeon, which are the so-called Dominicans. Zebulon, which are the so-called Guatemalans and the Panamanians. You have Ephraim, which are the so-called Puerto Ricans. Manasseh, which are the so-called Cubans. Gad, which are the so-called North American Indians. Reubens, which are the so-called Seminole Indians. Nathalie, which are the so-called Argentinians and the Chileans. Asher, which are the so-called Cubans and Hungarians. And Issachar, which are the so-called Mexicans. All right, and we say so-called because those are the names that was given to the 12 tribes today. But that's not who we are. All right, we're who the left side, which are the left side of that chart, which are the actual names that was given to us, which is Judah, Benjamin, Levite, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. That's who we are. Alright? So again, those promises, the promises are unto us, the 12 tribes of Israel. Alright? That's who we are. Alright? So that was the end of this lesson here. I pray that you all was edified. Until again, I'm going to say Shalawam, YAHAWASHI, Bahasham, QADASH, Atham.